Well, welcome everybody. This looks a lot more formal than I was expecting when we said we were going to host a reception.
Yep.
The idea here was just to give our loyal supporters of outdoor ethics and conservation a chance to come and meet with us and meet our outdoor ethics and conservation committee. My name is Scott Anderson, and as of 2 hours ago, I was the chair of outdoor ethics and conservation. I have now passed that baton to Mike Hunnicky. Mike, if you'll stand. Mike has been a long time chair of the conservation committee and then the conservation part of our outdoor ethics and conservation committee. And he was the likely successor as I move on to another responsibility. I would like all of the outdoor ethics and conservation committee members who are here in the room to please stand. And this is just in case you would like to network with them or ask questions. They're all here to help support you and help you with your council programs and the things that you do to support scouting that involve conservation and outdoor ethics. At this time, I'll turn the podium over to Dave, who wants to talk about some upcoming events.
Sure. So first of all, you all know that we teach Leave No Trace courses. And I hope you know that the name has changed. This is the what used to be called our Master Educator courses, now Level 2 instructor courses. We had several successful courses this year, including Paula is back there, just led one, and Michelle and Dave over here just led one. So, and I'm probably others that I'm forgetting about. Those are the very most recent ones. So that's kind of our premier Level 2 course. We're one of the few providers across the whole country. And we have one more course coming up at the summit. And Onda is the lead instructor for that one. So in case you're not doing anything next month, and you want to make another road trip out to the summit, you can join in that course. But we have you said 12 people signed up already, which is great. So, and we are working hard to get our 2026 courses underway too. So those are all the ones that are on the schedule so far. You can see the National High Adventure Based courses. So, yep. And for those who, and I realize that a lot of the folks in here are already taking a Master Educator course or a Level 2 instructor course. So we're not just asking you to take the course, we're asking you to spread the word about these. And we know, especially to kind of that camp staff age person or someone else who maybe have some financial challenges attending one of these courses. Dan Howes was a longtime member of the committee, really one of the founders of this effort within scouting. He passed away a few years ago, and this scholarship was established in his name. So we provide funds for those who request to help them to attend one of the Level 2 instructor courses. The other thing I wanted to mention, and again, I know it's lots of familiar faces in here, but every month through the year, in the summer we take the time off, but throughout the year we run an Outdoor Ethics and Conservation Roundtable. It's an online event, so you don't need to travel to go to it. You can sit at home and check that out. The topics are wide and varied each month, and we provide updates on things that are going on in the community, but also a specific topic. On our page, there's also an archive of all the past ones, so you can go and check those out too. And I think that's all I have, and turn it over to Scott Johnston. Right there you are over there, who's going to talk about some of the upcoming events.
I'm going to highlight the National Jamboree information. We have a National Jamboree coming up July 20th through the 31st. It actually starts a couple days after the 20th, but we put that in there, the 20th, because that's when the staff usually shows up. It's at the Bechtel Reservation. I want to say one thing about this. If you've ever been to events like this weekend and you fellowship, meet people, you walk away with that feeling that your family's just gotten bigger. And that's one of the experiences that I usually walk away with. at these jamborees and these events, NOAC and all the rest of them. It's fantastic. I love the committee because it's a family. It really is, and it's extended family, right? Okay, so at the end of the year of 2026, we have the National Outdoor Ethics and Conservation Conference. It will be taking place in St. Louis. The tentative date so far, because there's a lot of this that they're still working out. Anyway, it's October 5th through 11th. And it is at the Beaumont Scout Reservation, if I pronounced that right.
Beaumont.
Okay, and I've gone to one of these, well, yes, and that was in Utah, and it was so beautiful. I've never been in between two mountains there, like right beside the dining hall. You could almost reach out and touch the mountain. It went up through the sky. Yes, it was wonderful. So the place is attractive that we usually go to, that I've heard of, at least the one I went to. And it's just a good time to get together, and we pull all the things together at this that has occurred throughout the year at these conferences and talk about it and celebrate. The NOAC, I've been to several of them. This is one that's going to take place at the University of Illinois, July 26th through the 31st, 2027. You get a chance and you haven't written some of these down, or you want to go back and decide on one individual that just appeals to you, please do. We need staff members at these conferences like everyone else, but I really think that you'll just enjoy the heck out of it if you go. And this one's really on the chalkboard as far as organizing all the little different elements of it. We have the World Scout Jamboree, the 26th World Scout Jamboree taking place in Poland, July 27th through August 10th, 2027. And I will tell you, if you've ever been to a World Scout Jamboree like the one that they had and down at Summit, they're great. Now that one was special because it was one of the anniversaries, and it was not 40,000, it was like 50,000 to 70,000, considering all the people that were just day visitors. It's nice. You see people from all over the world. That is the coolest thing. All right, I think that may have covered what I had to say.
I'm gonna take this one real quick. So we were absolutely thrilled, and I'm gonna tell the story tomorrow in the morning, but I'll tell it again right now. At the National Outdoor Conference 2 years ago, I was having a discussion with Tim Stanfield from Seabase about environmental programs and the Scenes program. Since then, Philmont and Bechtel, Summit Bechtel have become Scenes camps as well. But in that conversation, we talked about environmental projects and the great work that's going on down at Seabase in coral reef restoration and in cleaning the waterways down there. And Tim had suggested that, what if we did this on a national level, just like Scouting for Food? And I asked him if I could run with that, if our committee could run with that, and Scouting for Clean Waterways was born. Right now, there's 137 pounds of waste removed to date, so that's a lot. And we started Earth Day in April. So if this grows anything like Scouting for Food, imagine the positive impact we're going to have on trying to get plastics and rubbish out of our waterways. Tim, you shared with me a really impressive statistic about the coral reef work that's going on down there. Would you share that with us?
Sure. So any of you that know about coral in general throughout the world, is every barrier reef is struggling, bleaching through disease. The Great Barrier Reef, the Florida Barrier Reef, which is the third largest barrier reef, and it's the only barrier reef in North America, is where we operate as Seabase. Several years ago, scientists came to us and said, I found a way for microfragmentation that I believe can be the solution we can save the Florida Barrier Reef because it is virtually extinct. We thought it was a dream. We wanted to be part of that dream. And we launched Scouting's first coral nursery for threatened and endangered species at Seabase. We started with a broodstock of roughly 228 pieces of coral. That ballooned to 16,000 pieces of coral. And up to this point, we've been able to outplant about 3,000 pieces per year. However, This current year, we're gonna plant 12,500 threatened and endangered coral back on Florida's barrier reef. And functionally, what we believe that's going to do is we are planting on large coral heads that take 4, 5, 600 years naturally to grow. We're taking that same type of coral that is more resilient, right? Because it has survived the bleaching events and has survived over the course of these last major disease outbreaks. We fragmented them, we're putting them out, and they're re-skinning these dead coral heads, and we're able to accomplish in 3 years what takes 500 years without assistance from coral practitioners and scientists. So it's scouts and scientists. Scouts are involved in every portion of the program. It's young men and women that are really realizing they're given an opportunity to assume leadership when it comes to this vital resource. And then one thing you might think is, why is it important? Well, the vast majority of the world's fisheries depend on coral reefs at some point during the life cycle of their species, right? The majority of the world's population lives along oceans, right? A great amount of their subsistence is seafood. What happens if we take away the number one food source in the world because we have decimated the ecosystem? Right? So this is a humanitarian issue as well as an ecological issue. And it's really exciting to see young men and women jumping into the void, solving the problem in the name of, and we have the video, and hopefully at some point, if you haven't seen the video yet, we had a 13-year-old young man that came through the program and said, you know, I may not see the impact, but someday I'm going to be able to bring my children back, and they're going to see exactly what I was able to do while I was a scout. That's pretty powerful.
So great work at Sea Base. I can't tell you enough how much we value our partnerships with the high adventure bases, whether it's here at Philmont with the demonstration forest and the rocks program, whether it's the trail building that goes on up at Northern Tier, the coral reef work down at the Sea Base, or the sustainability treehouse at the summit. All of these things help our scouts learn about the natural worlds and how they can make this a better place. I will hand this back to you.
Actually, I think Mike is ready to share
so
other things happening in conservation.
Right, so we're talking about conservation updates, and on our side of the house, we have several projects we've been working on. The one of the notable ones is the Wildland Fire Management Merit Badge pilot that's in the test lab right now. And I wanted to put a plug out for that because the test lab is a new concept where new ideas are placed for scouts to kind of review and work on and provide feedback back to the advancement committee and to us. And so if you have the opportunity to take a look at those requirements or work with the scout in the test lab on Wildland Fire Management Merit Badge or some of the others, that'd be very, very helpful to get that feedback. We're hoping that it will become a bona fide merit badge in June when the test lab concludes the pilot program with that. So we're really excited about that in light of, you know, all of the recent history we've had with wildfires. And that merit badge will provide scouts an opportunity to do some type of a fire-related conservation project or an awareness project or a hazardous fuel reduction project in their community or on their scout camp. So we're excited about that. Another big project we've been working on is to update the ecology syllabus for National Camping School and the student manual that goes with it. So that's been an ongoing project. Several of us have been working on that for the last year or so, and that's coming. So doing that, and then a lot of emphasis on hazardous trees in our scout camp. So we produced the pieces of a video that are going to be made into a YouTube video, kind of for our camp managers to know what to look for, how to mitigate hazardous trees. And we have white paper on it. You'll learn about it in one of the safety talks, I think on Thursday, more about hazardous trees. So those are the kind of things we do on the conservation side. Our big task coming up this year is to update all of our products and our publications, taking the Boy Scouts of America out and putting Scouting America in and some of those things. We also oversee the Distinguished Conservation Service Award program, which could also use a lot of promotional help. So if you have scouts that are really involved and interested in conservation, that's a great program for them. And so we oversee the adult nominations for the adult award, the Distinguished Conservationist, review those, and also kind of provide the direction for the Distinguished Conservation Service Award, Youth Award. So there's just some of the things that we're working on, but looking forward to keeping things moving and having a successful jamboree. And I'll turn it back over to you.
Yep. And next we have Susie Bell talking about some of the things going on in the outdoor ethics side.
All right, my name
This is a short list too.
yes, my
So
name,
very summarized. She sent me like 3 pages of stuff. So we need to fit it on one slide.
these are the highlights. My name is Susie Bell. I'm the vice chair of the Outdoor Ethics Curriculum group. And we're in the process of going through and making sure all of the Leave No Trace training guidelines, that's Leave No Trace, the organization, are updated in all of our Scouting America materials. And every time we think we've got everything, whoops, we find another one. So we're back working on that. We're working to make sure that people understand that Leave No Trace has changed some of their guidelines for certification for instructors. Now you need to recertify every 2 years, and depending if you're a level 1 or a level 2, there is a fee that is involved with that. We're also working on the outdoor ethics. I'm going to mention this, it's not up there. We have a work group that is working on the outdoor ethics guide handbook. Looking at that, seeing where we can make some improvements. We're also working on revising the outdoor ethics basics course, which some of you may know as the Outdoor Ethics 101 course. So we have some exciting developments that we're working on with that. We've been working on merit badge updates. We have been asked to be subject matter experts on a number of the nature-related merit badges, and we're working with that. Scouting America is now pulling more video resources into that. So we've been helping with that. And we're also taking all the outdoor ethics awards and looking at them to see if we want to make some changes with those, because we have now added Sea Scouting to our family of outdoor ethics awards. We also came out with, and Pastor Scott was instrumental in pulling this together, the Outdoor Ethics and Sea Scouting Guide, which is a companion to the new Sea Scouting Manual. So we're looking forward to putting that out. We have a version that's out, so that's where we are with that. Any questions? Okay.
Lots going on.
Lots going on.
So thanks.
Short version.
So we, as I think many of you know, tonight we're going to be presenting the Outdoor Ethics Distinguished Service Awards, but we have to keep a little secret here. As Scott mentioned, he is we have a leadership transition. Eric Kaiser, who is our first chair of the Outdoor Ethics originally task force, because it was going to be a temporary task force as of 18 years ago or something like that. So, you know, just temporary. So anyway, so Eric was the first chair. I was the second one. Eric, how long were you the chair of this?
You keep asking me that. I'm not sure. I think it was 6 years.
7 years.
7 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott.
Okay. And then I had it slightly shorter tenure for about 6 years. Scott has made it. I will say that I did not anticipate the pandemic occurring. That was not part of my plan, but yeah, he handed it over to me. I had for a few years, and then I said I need to turn this over to someone else. The pandemic hit just as Scott was agreeing to, so continued. But anyway, and at we had an online one of these national outdoor conferences, many of you may recall, in 2021 because we couldn't gather in person. So that was the formal turnover from myself to Scott. He's lasted for several years now, but we want to recognize him for his service. So Scott, come on up. If you know, Scott really likes to cook. And several folks came together, and somebody else is just joining us on Zoom. So several folks came together and purchased a set. And I'm a cook with a jackknife kind of person, not a cook with chef knives. But apparently these are like the special super duper chef's knives. So tomorrow in your email, you will receive a gift certificate to purchase or to
Thank you for not making me take them to the airplane. We can all carry on.
We did think this through, and we thought this would be a little easier. And so as part of the gift, you have this apron to accompany your knife set. And since we know that you like to travel around to our many events, there's a little extra that comes along. A bit of cash, so this is to help you fund your trips. We have some US dollars to go to the National Jamboree next summer. The euros, so you can transit Europe on your way to the
Well, this is fun.
to the World Jamboree, in Poland. So we have
Yen?
Poland zlotys. So I'm not sure that's going to cover the full cost of all of your travels, but Scott, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for all of your hard work.
I've never known this to be a cash job, so.
Well, I think this is a reflection of.
Let's give it all back to the Oh. Thank you so much. Thank you.
The extra funds are a reflection of, I think the committee's acknowledging how great your leadership has been over the last several years.
Well, thank you so much. It's really been wonderful. I will say that I'm thrilled with my new the new position that I've been asked to fill. But it is heart-wrenching to have to leave this dedicated group of volunteers that I've had the pleasure of working with for quite some time. And, it's so much easier when you have passionate people who are on your side, working with you every step of the way to deliver Scouting's message. And it has just been an absolute honor and a privilege to have served this committee. And I'll leave it at that.
So my arm got twisted to say just a few words about Scott's tenure as our chair of the Outdoor Ethics Now Conservation Committee for it. And one of the things that I think I am most proud of is being the first person to lead No Trace Task Force guy a long time ago, is seeing just how far, by the work of all of you who are in this room, we've been able to come with bringing outdoor ethics really into one of the forefronts of the Scouting's ethical message and the ethics that we try to teach and instill. And we have seen great work that was done by Dave as he was solidifying that message. And then here with Scott, we've seen a lot of increased acceptance throughout all parts of our movement. We've seen at the newest National Strategic Plan, there are things that echo outdoor ethics and sustainability in that. And that didn't even come from us in the task force. So that is a sign that we've been successful as a community in Scouting trying to do that. And one of the things that Scott has done very well is he has managed through all the different storms. He's brought in our conservation brethren and remarried together, conservation and outdoor ethics, which have always had a long connection with each other. And I think we have a very bright future as we look forward, in large part to the work that you have done to look at how we're going to bring all this together and to continue to build this as a fundamental part of Scouting. So Scott, all of us in the outdoor ethics community and the conservation community, thank you for the work that you have done. Well done. And we look forward to Mike's efforts to fill those shoes moving forward. So congratulations, Mike, as well.
Okay, well, again, congratulations, Scott. Thank you so much. Mike, look forward to continue working with you. So now we'll present the Outdoor Ethics Distinguished Service Awards. Couple notes here. We presented one of these at a national outdoor conference a few years ago, whatever it was, when Mark Anderson retired, longtime Philmont person, but we traditionally have presented these only at the outdoor ethics conferences in the even numbered years. But we've had, there's a bunch of people who we really felt was important to recognize. And so you wanted to take advantage of this opportunity when there was a lot of representatives of the community coming together. So this award was first presented in 2012 at that very first outdoor ethics conference in Arkansas. Since then, they've been presented at each of those conferences, and then again at that one national outdoor conference. So a little kind of a change to the tradition, but that's great because again, we feel it's important to recognize folks. And I counted, there's 34 recipients over those 13 years since the first awards. And tonight we'll be recognizing 8 more people. 4 of them are present here, 4 are not, but we'll acknowledge everyone. I see Tom Temple is on the Zoom, so he's hopefully listening in and hearing us. But let me see, I need to go through my list here and get these in order. And Scott is going to take the lead on clicking. Michelle is going to come up and present the first award.
I've had the pleasure of working with John for several years. We've worked on the Council Outdoor Ethics Advocate together. John has been instrumental in helping get that to be module based, that we can do both in person and online. So in the last year, we've been able to train a whole lot of Council Outdoor Ethics Advocates, which is really for the committee. They are the people in the councils making a difference. And so it's really great to be able to recognize John today. And I was not one who could memorize today, so I had to write my notes. But John is a natural trainer with a good sense of humor. He's done amazing things with tubs and resources and props. And he's got a creative mind that he doesn't like to do the same thing twice. So you never quite know where John's going to go on that one. And not only has he done this in the United States, but John used to travel for work before he retired. So he has brought the outdoor ethics and leave no trace message to scouts in England, Australia, and the United States. And I know he's a valuable asset to the California team. So with that, I would love to have John come up and recognize John. So we'll do it the Scouty way.
I'm old school.
Congratulations, John.
Thank you.
He's yelling, Dad. Step on.
Yep. So next, we have actually 2 folks. You'll see the next slide. But Gary Groven first, and then next we'll recognize Heidi, a couple from way up north who have done a great job kind of leading the efforts up in that area in Minnesota, North Dakota, and Wisconsin, running literally dozens of formerly trainer and now level 1 courses. In addition to that relatively local work, Gary has been very active as one of our instructors for the Master Educator courses and now level 3 or level 2 courses, coming here to Philmont, but also traveling to other parts around the country. So in conjunction with Heidi, instructing many of those. So go ahead and click. And so again, Heidi has also been an instructor for our level 2 courses and run many of the trainer and level 1 courses, including when the pandemic happened. It was obviously pretty difficult to have in-person courses. So Leave No Trace said, sure, you can do online courses if you want, but nobody had done that before. And so Heidi was one of the leaders in helping to establish that. She served as the Council Outdoor Ethics Advocate for many years and as the formerly what we, when we had areas before the transition to territories, supporting other local councils. So Gary and Heidi will be recognizing at a separate occasion, kind of working through those details. So if anyone wants to make a trip up to Minnesota to help with that presentation, just let me know. And I'm going to turn it back over to Michelle for another presentation.
The other person that I get to present to tonight is Dave Miller. And again, I didn't memorize my notes. I have my notes. So I've always enjoyed Dave's knowledge and talking and stuff, but Dave has a unique way to bring the outdoor ethics message to everybody. Dave's poems and stories promote outdoor ethics in a unique way. He weaves his life experiences into vivid stories and heartfelt poems that resonate deeply with anyone who hears them. Dave's commitment to outdoor ethics and conservation efforts in his own council, camp, and to the broader outdoor ethics community has been ongoing throughout his 50+ years in scouting. I know I've come to appreciate his experiences as a presenter at level 1 and level 2 courses. And I think one of our participants in Oregon said it best: "To the schedule be damned. I want to know everything Dave knows." So it's been a real pleasure for me to get to know Dave and work with Dave the last several years. And I'm very pleased to be able to offer the award to him. So Dave, if you come up.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks, Dave. Oh, we gotta pose.
And our next recipient, again, also wasn't able to be here, which is really unfortunate because I think, I know that she has attended every one of the National Outdoor Ethics Conferences since 2012. One of the few, there were like 3 or 4 of us who had made it to all of them. And she's also was a regular attendee at these National Outdoor Conferences. But I think this is probably the first one she's missed for a while now. If you know Mary, she had worked for many years with her husband, Harry, who unfortunately passed away a few years ago. They were participants in the very first Leave No Trace Master Educator course we held at Northern Tier in 2006, so almost 20 years ago. They were already enthusiastic about Leave No Trace and outdoor ethics at that point. And we've talked about Council Outdoor Ethics Advocates in that role. They started serving in 2010, but that's only because they weren't doing it earlier, but that's only because the title wasn't established until 2010. So they were functioning in that role prior to that time. And as you know, Michigan Crossroads is one of the biggest councils in the country. So very complex, trying to support all the Baloo courses and IOLS courses and all the other Leave No Trace courses and University of Scouting and such. So, really did an outstanding job in that council. So, Mary has retired and spends half of her time in Michigan and half the time in Tennessee. So we're trying to figure out where we're going to present this award. She moved to Tennessee and instantly got involved in helping to make the Master Educator, the level 2 instructor course down there successful too. So anyway, I look forward to presenting that to Mary in person. And who is next? Tom, right, Tom Temple. So Susie, come on up.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I've had the pleasure and opportunity to work with Tom on a level 2 course, and his council is right next to mine. So when I started doing level 1 courses, if I needed help, I just called Tom and he would bring an amazing amount of stuff when he arrived. And we were able to have such an enriched course because of his knowledge and dedication to outdoor ethics. And I think that there was a phrase that was bantered around. Perhaps he was raised by wolves because he lives and does outdoor ethics and everything that he attempts. And I'm from New Jersey. Tom's from New Jersey. You don't necessarily think outdoor ethics when you hear New Jersey, but he's the real deal. And I'm delighted to present this award to you, Tom, and hopefully we'll be able to meet in person so that I can hand it over to you.
Sure, thank you very much. Here we go.
I will say, Tom was a participant in the first Leave No Trace trainer course that I worked with Scott on in New Jersey in
a snowstorm.
a snowstorm, right, in March in 2004, maybe 2003, something like that, a long time ago. So anyway, great to recognize Tom. Next, Scott.
So this time around, it is my pleasure to say thank you to one of the professional staff that supported us as our staff advisor. Andrea then went on to serve as the staff advisor for outdoor programs and properties, but she never forgot us. And she always kept that phone open and that door open and guidance open. And the Outdoor Ethics and Conservation Committee would just like to say thank you by presenting you with the Distinguished Conservation Service Award. And
it is my pleasure to present this award to John for his outstanding work, not only in his commitment to scouting. He has a long history of working with climbing, and he has recently joined our Outdoor Ethics Curriculum Committee and has brought his depth of knowledge, certainly of scouting and of the outdoor programs. He is an integral part of our revision of the basics course, and this is an award that I'm pleased to present to you.
You know, I've got to add one thing.
What?
Every leader needs a henchman. He's right there.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to come up. He's been with me on all those.
I asked for photos of John for the presentation, and probably 2/3 of them also had Ed in. So sorry I had to clip you out of this, but there was so much to put in about John. I had to. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you.
So congratulations to all of the award recipients. Some of them actually have joined us online, and along with Charlie Thorpe, you may have noticed in the picture of Dave Miller, there was this other guy sitting on the other side of the sign, and I think many of you have crossed paths with Charlie sometime through your scouting career. Charlie was also, I'd say, one of the founders of this effort. Charlie is with us online. He was scheduled to come here and be with us this evening, but he's kind of come down with some kind of respiratory illness that he did not want to spread to the people on the plane or to the rest of us. But he did request that we scan the room, so I'm going to try to do this right. Yep. So,
well, the Zoom is probably still working, so.
yeah. So a whole bunch of people here in the room, and I think Tom and yeah, I think that's just somewhere something slipped out. So anyway, the Heidi and possibly Gary was on a Boundary Waters canoe trip. And I spoke with him, and he was leaving like the next day, and he said he might make it back by tonight. So Gary may be on, and Mary is on also, and Tom, Heidi, right? Yeah. So anyway, to all of you joining us by Zoom, congratulations, and lots of folks here to celebrate these awards. And
Try it this way.
Somewhere, something's loose, but in any case, this last slide basically says, thanks for coming, and I can tell you that. No, we're not gonna yet, yeah. So, so anyway, thank you for being here. We have the room for the rest of the night. So if you want to hang out, I don't know if there's any ice cream left out there. But before the last person leaves, we do need to arrange the room and the chairs for the folks who will be using it in the morning. So if somebody wants to help me move chairs around, but feel free to leave, feel free to hang around and chit chat. I would like to get a photo of all of the this year's recipients together, and this is not a particularly picturesque like room for photos, but maybe over by the Philmont map or something, I don't know. And then we have also traditionally taken a picture of all of the new and past recipients of the award. So anyway, we'll figure that out. But if everyone else, again, you can, so I know some of you are traveling today. You're probably tired. Feel free. You don't need to hang around. But if you want to stay and talk, you're welcome to do so too. And I hope you all enjoy your time at the National Outdoor Conference.
How do you want the chairs?
Oh yeah, we'll work that out. But basically just straight rows, 8 or 9 in a row, 6 rows. Instead 50 chairs, but that doesn't like the math. Let's put it up. Or this would be 5 of 10. 5 rows of 10s, 4 rows of 8, or 6 rows of 8, something like that. So we'll do that. We'll do that after some folks stand up and clear out. But thanks for coming. It's great to see everybody. Enjoy the conference, and we'll see you around. Lots of outdoor ethics and conservation sessions to attend. So